Hey guys, how you doing today? Tony Boombots here, and I wanted to talk about my favorite knife manufacturer, which obviously is Spyderco. Now, I don't have a ton of Spydercos. I have five of them, but they're just my favorite knife manufacturer. They do such a good job. But like I was saying in another video, it's funny, but it's not my favorite knife. Let me get that out of the way first. I love Spyderco, but my favorite knife is my Spartan Horsey folder. Reason being, I think it's my only all titanium, except for the blade, of course, knife. And it took me like 5 months to save up for this knife. I just love this knife, but it is a heavy knife to carry. But this is my favorite knife. Now, saying that, if I was to pick one knife to carry as an EDC only forever, it wouldn't be this. It would probably be my Para 3. If I was to pick one knife, if I could only have one knife, if shit hits the fan and you could only have one knife, well then it'll probably be my Para 2, because it's got the crew web steel on it. So that's my thoughts on it. I guess it's kind of confusing or weird, or you understand. But I love this knife. I love it. It's my favorite knife because it took so long to save up for it. I got this. Well, actually, I got it directly from Spartan. They brought it to the Blade Show for me last year. And I just love this knife. It took 5 months to save up for it. I was trying to do that again this year, for a grill knife at Blade Show, but just too much family and health and, different issues came up, so I really couldn't. But that's okay. I'm there to see the people, mostly. I'm also there for the knives, let's not lie. But anyway, Spyderco knives are just awesome. This was my first one, and this is the Tenacious. And actually, this is the only one I've ever resharpened. All the other ones still have the original edge on them. I got a lot of knives, not real expensive knives, but I use them all, and this is the only one because it's 8CR, I believe, yeah. 8CR 13 move. And, everybody says things about that steel. Seems to sharpen good. You got to strop it and sharpen it, but this is an awesome knife. I hear they make it out of the S35 now, which makes this a really awesome knife. It's a liner lock, and that was my very first Spyderco. Then I remember, I believe way back, I was still in the hospital a few years back, and they were talking about the Para 3 a lot. So that was going to be my first, nice Spyderco. And that's this right here. Now, recently in the last year, I put original goat scales on it, which I love them. The action on this knife is phenomenal. It's centered, it's solid, it's a great knife. And this is the S45VN. I love that steel. That's the same with this knife here, the Spartan Horsey folder. That's S45VN also. And I tell you, I love that steel. I know the Rage is Magna Cut, but there's something about S45 and crew wear that I really love. But this was my second Spyderco right here. And it's the perfect size to carry around. It's light. It's just perfect size knife. So this would be, that's my second one Spyderco I ever received, but I really started liking them after this one. I loved them in the beginning, but after this, baby, I really started to like them. Then I started hearing a lot about the Para 2, which was basically the OG for the modern, the compression lock. That's something else. That's my most favorite lock design out of all locks. My favorite is the compression lock. Anyway, so I heard a lot of talk, about the Para 2, kind of like the OG with the compression lock and of all the knives. And this is a DLT, I think, exclusive. Crewware. Now this one I use this one pretty good, but all I've done is strop it. And it's excellent. Now I live on the coast, the eastern coast of Florida, Central Florida. You know, I wipe it every day. It goes out with me a lot. I have no corrosion on it, no problems. It's not coated, but I know it's not a stainless steel, but that was my third. And again, love this knife. Now, they were all along, while I was checking out Spydercos over a few years, because I didn't get these all in one shot, I always loved the Mannix. And it's something about it. And then I felt it, I think a friend of mine had one. And he's not even a real good friend, you know, a guy that lives in the area I live in. And I just loved the way it felt. So I ordered it. And who did I get it from? Southern, I think Southern Knives or Southern Grind Knives, something like that. This is S30V, and I just got this like a year or so ago. S30V, and it's smooth as silk. And I like S30V. I have what is it? My only Benchmade, and that's not because they're a bad knife, but it's because they got so expensive. My Griptilian is an S30V, so I fell in love with S30, so that's why I picked this up, and it's awesome. It's kind of like the Spartan. I don't carry this one a real lot because it's heavy. So that's one of the things at Blade Show. I think I'm going to see if I can get some scales for this. But I would also love, because I do go to the beach a lot, a Mannix Light Salt, or what is it? Maybe the Rex, because that's coated. But a Mannix Light, because I hear they're really nice. They're really light. They're nice to carry. You know, this has those big steel liners in it. That was my fourth Spyderco. And then, you know, there was a couple of the Spydercos I really liked and wanted. I still do, you know. What is it? The Smock. I like the Smock. I like the Spidey Chef. And the Shaman don't do a lot for me because, to me, I think it's similar blade to this, to the Mannix. But, again, I've never used or handled the Shaman. I'll have to check a lot of these knives out at Blade this year. But then I was watching, I think, Erica's EDC, and she was talking about K390. So I was trying to check it out. This is a Delica. Also, I've heard so much about Delicas. So I got a Delica K390. I couldn't find one with the regular leaf Spyderco blade, but I love Warncliffe's. So I picked this knife up, K390, and it is a cardboard eating mother. It's a nice smooth knife. This is very light too, so I will carry this a lot of times. Very light shorts. It's just very nice. It's light and nice. You know, I'm not super crazy about backlocks because, you know, most of my life, especially when I was a child, you know, teenager, whatever, most of the knives were backlock or just plain old slip joint. So I do like the more modern style knives, but awesome knife. I fell in love with this knife, and the K390, I love it. It's similar to the Crewware. I'm not, it might be a little slice here. Maybe it's just the blade, but I love it. And that's my, it's kind of my story with Spydercos. As you could see, you know, I don't have a lot of them. A lot of guys, they got some crazy amounts of knives and Spydercos, but just something, they're all around. They're a good built knife. They're metal. They sharpen nice. This one I've sharpened, and I sharpened a friend of mine's PM2, I think it was, and they sharpen up really nice. And I think it's what everybody says, the steel, they do a really good job with their steel. They know how to heat treat, and they bring it to the proper temper. I mean, I have no way of testing metals, but all these steels are awesome, you know. I'm like, I'm not sure, you know, like, where was it? The Hogue Decker. I bought one in Magna Cut. I wasn't happy with the thing at all. Now, I don't know. some people say they burnt their edges. Some say some of them came burnt. I don't know, but I resharpened and profiled it, and it was like magic. That thing cuts fantastic now. So I just think Spyderco knows what they're doing. With steel, they don't screw around. They try different steels, and so that makes it my point of why they're my favorite manufacturer. So if I could only have one knife, it would be a Spyderco. If I could only have one EDC, it would be a Spyderco. My favorite knife is not a Spyderco. It's a Spartan Horsey folder. Anyway, I hope I meet a bunch of you guys at Blade. It's going to be in a couple weeks. I'm going to look around, see what I could get. Maybe they'll have some nice Spyderco lightweights, you know, seconds or whatever, get for a good price. But anyway, I hope to see a bunch of you guys up there, meet you. Hope everybody stays safe. Whoever's going, be safe getting there. And I love everybody. Peace. Have a great week.